YouTube, and welcome back to the channel. I know it's been quite a while since I have done a build video or anything like that, and that's about to change because I have a video on the works I'm just editing right now, which is for the Beaver SX, which is a micro brushless quad with about 2.5 inch props, and this thing weighs exactly, as it sits here with batteries, 100 grams. That is insane. So you guys can look forward to a video of this in the next few days. I'm just finishing editing the footage. But before I release all that stuff, I wanted to talk about some of the quads that I have built in the past few months that I haven't really revisited and giving you guys my final impressions on how they fly. So let's start off with the Hyph. The Hyph has quickly become my favorite freestyle frame. I had a couple Martians that I had been flying freestyle for a little while, and I really like those, but man, something about the Hyph just really flies nice, and it's extremely stable and super durable. Also, it's one of my lighter freestyle quads. So on the 2205 2500 kV motors, this thing really chooches pretty nice. It has some, the punch outs are pretty amazing, and I'm really enjoying flying this guy. I'm enjoying flying it so much that I have gotten myself a 6-inch version of the Hyph right here that I actually just received like today. And really the only difference are going to be the arms that are a bit longer than the original Hyph arms. But yeah, so just sticks out just a bit. But that's going to be pretty interesting because I have not flown anything bigger than 5-inch so far, and I'm just curious to see how it goes. And I love the way that the Hyph flies so much that I want to try it on 6-inch. So if you're looking for a super solid freestyle frame, go with the Hyph. However, make sure that you pick a flight controller and a stack that will fit here because it is small. I've had extremely good luck with anything AIO. I'm using the DTFC, which is like a sort of AIO. At least it has the PDB integrated with the FC. I had problems with this quad when I first built it, and if you guys remember in the series, I talked about it. I had a lot of yaw oscillations, and it turned out that that was being caused by the fact that there just wasn't enough space here. Too many things were touching the FC, and it was hard mounted. It was an F4. I really didn't like those conditions. Once I switched to the DTFC and I put this guy on those little red bobbins from RMRC, it's night and day. The whole thing became extremely stable. I'm running some fairly high P gains on pitch and roll, like over 6, which is very high for most of my quads, but it feels awesome. I like the snappiness of it. There's no oscillations really. Minimal prop wash at best, sometimes on really big drops, but at that point, I'm pretty sure you're just fighting physics. So, very impressed with this frame. Definitely recommend you guys get one of these. I'm not sure if there's any available anymore, but I think there's going to be a new run coming out soon with a few tweaks that make it a lot nicer. So keep an eye out on the FPV chat or hyphmultirotors.com if you want to get your hands on a Hyph. Now, moving on to some other quads that I haven't revisited in a while. In fact, this quad right here from Detroit Multirotors, a WP17 Stretch X 5-inch. This was actually one of the first quads that I did a build and review series on, and I haven't really revisited it since that. I did have some problems with this quad in that for it to stay stable and no nodding, I had to run really high eye gains, like something like over 130, especially on the pitch. And what happened was that, yes, the quad flies, but it doesn't feel good. It feels rigid and weird. I don't know. I did not like it. So I didn't fly this quad very much over the winter until Betaflight came out with the anti-gravity. And after watching Barwell's video, I figured, hey, maybe that will help me. And it did. Putting an anti-gravity gain of 2.0 on this quad allowed me to drop my eye gains back down to 6, which is a very reasonable eye gain in my mind. And the quad flies awesome now. It feels nice, it feels fluid, it doesn't have this weird jankiness on the pitch axis because of so much eye gain. So on a side note, if you have that issue, check into anti-gravity for sure, it might help you out. But I'm extremely impressed with this quad, just on the durability of it. I have literally smashed this quad full force onto like a wooden post, and I barely got anything. Like, it dinged my motor probably even worse than it dinged anything else, but it got the skirt, not the belt, so it's okay. There was a tiny bit of fraying, but nothing else, no damage. I've dropped this guy from a height of probably 7 stories when I had a desync. It landed upside down, no problem. I have not broken anything. Detroit Multirotor frames are stupid strong. For racing, I think that's going to be a big advantage because you won't be breaking things as often. It's a little bit on the heavy side, I would say, for a racing quad these days, but awesome. The stance is great. It's a bit smaller than most of the Stretch X's that I've seen, especially if you look at the Saturn. Let me just pull it up here. So we have the Saturn Stretch X, and as you can see, the stance is fairly different. The Detroit multi-rotor quad, it's closer to a true X, just a tiny bit stretched, while the Saturn is super stretch. I kind of like the hybrid. The super stretch is nice, but it feels different. So I'm more in tune with the DMR direction of doing things just slightly more compressed. So I got my hands on another prototype, which is another WP17 Stretch X as well. This one has 4mm arms, and they're all individually removable. I was going to do a build series on this guy, but I literally have not had time. I have to compress my build series now into literally like one episode, because I just don't have time to do the amount of work that I did before for these build series. And I hope you guys are okay with that, but I will try to get more build series coming out by doing them faster. There's a lot of editing work that goes into play, so that's why I didn't actually end up doing this guy. However, this guy here is mounted with T2s and the first 4-in-1 35 amp Lumineer ESC that I've ever used. And I have to say, I'm pretty sold on the concept of 4-in-1. I was a little bit skittish of it, and we'll see if I damage it or something like that, how happy I will be with a 4-in-1, because changing it is considerably more complicated and annoying and more costly. But the theory is that if your props don't hit it, you're less likely to break it. So we'll have to see. But I really like the squad, and that it is it was an easier build. They put more space into it. This guy here was very compressed. I'm not sure if you can see it from the top, but it's just a little bit narrower. And with the side plate TPU things that I probably shouldn't have used in hindsight, it really reduces your space. Everything has to be pretty crammed in there. This guy here, I was able to get a little bit more space out of it, especially on the stack, because it's a tiny bit taller. But weight-wise, this guy came out lighter than this guy. So I'm not sure if that's a function of the frame itself or if it's more to do with the ESCs, but it definitely came out a little bit lighter. So yeah, that's pretty much all I've got in terms of updates on the builds that I've been flying in the past little while, and I really just wanted to talk to you guys about the Hyph and the DMRs that I've been flying, so that you guys get a final word on what I think of these quads. And I'd say that if you're looking for a racing quad, definitely check out the DMR, the Stretch X's that are coming out with this year. Incredibly tough. And I just really like the form factor. They're a bit smaller than other Stretch X's that I've seen out there. And if you're looking for a sick freestyle frame that just flies nice and is pretty damn tough, check out the Hyph. As soon as he has more available, and I think there are some available in our RTFQ, you might be able to get some from him. That's where I got my 6-inch. So there's still some out in the wild, but pretty soon I think there will be another release. So keep an eye out and get yourself one, because these things are awesome. So thanks for watching, guys, and stay tuned for a few more build videos coming up. I will do a short build video on the Hyph, and I will be releasing the build video on the Beaver SX by next week. So subscribe to the channel so you don't miss anything, and thanks again for watching. Take care.